This is it, the final SmackDown of the Thunderdome era, and Edge is out here making Roman Reigns tap out in front of the world. But before that, Jey Uso returns. The Bloodline comes together, and Roman lays it all on the line to prove that he's still the head of the table. This week on the Bloodline Rewind, we are covering the July 9th and 16th, 2021 episodes of SmackDown, where the Tribal Chief faces a new kind of pressure. How does it all unfold? It's time to rewind the Bloodline. Welcome back to the Bloodline Rewind. I'm your host, Johnny Bakeshow, and this week we are covering the July 9th and 16th episodes of SmackDown. This is part 34 of our ongoing series, so if you are new here, do yourself a favor and check out last week's episode where the rated R superstar returned and got his revenge on Roman Reigns. And also, don't forget to acknowledge us. Drop a like and hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support. And it is finally here. This is the final show we are reviewing from the Thunderdome, so let's get to it. The July 9th, 2021 episode of SmackDown starts with a recap of Edge putting Jimmy in the crossface to close out last week's show when Roman never showed up to help.
What's up, cousin? Jimmy, how you doing?
Jimmy tries to walk into Roman's locker room, but Paul stops him because Roman is about to handle something important.
Not as important as you. You deserve his full focus.
And Jimmy will get Roman's full attention tonight. So Jimmy walks off and Heyman watches as if something really bad is going to happen to Jimmy tonight. We pan and Roman is at Gorilla and our tribal chief is on his way to the ring. The Roman sucks chants rain down as Roman grabs the mic from Paul.
I know a lot of you at home didn't like the fact that I wasn't present last week.
And there's a lot about last week that he didn't like. But if there's one thing Roman won't stand for,
that's a liar like Edge. Coming out here and saying that I fear him.
Roman says that he's going to be honest with us at WrestleMania for maybe one moment.
And you ask any fighter, ask Brock.
This was super interesting because Roman says, ask any fighter, ask Brock. Roman Reigns is mentioning Brock Lesnar here in July before SummerSlam. And he says that ask Brock.
Fear can sometimes happen.
But that fear propelled Roman. He smashed him. He stacked him. He pinned him. Roman says that the only reason that Edge got to him a few weeks ago,
I was not focused. It was because I had so much going on with my family.
And Edge wasn't even a thought in Roman's mind. And then Roman points to the family and he has some business and the Usos music hits and Jimmy makes his way to the ring. Jimmy asks if Roman knows why he went at Edge last week.
It wasn't for me. It was for us.
And Jimmy says,
you must have been on vacation. I showed up.
And Roman stops Jimmy right away and he says,
when did I tell you to do this for us?
And I was thinking in my head like, yeah, you did ask him like 2 weeks ago. Then Roman continues and he says,
vacation? If anybody earned a vacation, I earned the vacation, but I don't take vacations.
He says that he's been busy doing Jimmy's job.
Surprise, Jey Uso is back. Jimmy.
And the Usos music hits and Jey Uso is back. Jey says he's back, but not for Jimmy, but for the family.
Your right-hand man is back, Us.
And Jey tells Jimmy to keep his head high because they're going to be 7-time tag team champions. And Roman pipes in here and says,
and I've been saying it all along. That's all I ever wanted.
7-time tag team champions and the Universal Champion. The way they do it is together. All on the same page, all of them working together.
Can't nobody touch us if we do it my way.
And Roman sticks his arms out. They all embrace as the bloodline is solid and fully formed. We fast forward, the Usos are backstage. Jimmy apologizes to Jey for everything that he said.
You trying to handle some business before Roman has to? Yeet, for the family.
And Jimmy looks around and they are officially planning something. So we go later into the show and Heyman is with Roman in their locker room and he says they have a problem and it's Edge. And Paul says Edge is planning on calling Roman to the ring tonight.
What else he say?
And Paul reluctantly has to tell Roman that
Edge questions your manhood.
And Roman's reaction is everything here. He completely changes his demeanor. He is mad about this. The Usos are now slinking around the backstage area and they come to Edge's locker room. Jimmy goes to knock on the door, but Jey stops him and tells him,
Let him come out first and then we can get him.
and we go to commercial break. We come back and the Usos are still waiting at the door and Jimmy's done waiting as he barges into an empty locker room. So Edge is playing more mind games again. And to close out the show, Edge is on his way to the ring to call out Roman Reigns. Edge gives a congratulations to Roman's family.
They came out here, they had a nice group hug. See, here's the thing, I don't care how many minions Roman has, how many of them he has brainwashed.
He's exposed the cracks in Roman's family, and if anyone gets in his way, they're going to look like this. And Edge puts the image up on the screen of the Glasgow Grin that he's now calling it. Edge feeds off of fear, and he's going to take that title off Roman. Edge says without the title,
Your island, it just isn't relevant anymore. Can you deal with that?
so it's simple. He's calling Roman out, and the camera pans to Roman watching backstage with the Bloodline. He tells the Usos to stay back. He's going to handle it on his own. Roman makes his way to the curtain, but he stops. He hands the title to Heyman, and he tells him to keep it back here. Roman walks out. The camera goes back to the Usos.
Oh, he gonna mess that up. Something don't feel right though. Feel like a trap? Let's go.
So Roman gets to ringside as the Usos music hits, and this wasn't the plan. They're already not following Roman's way. So they come down to Roman and he tells them that
What'd I say? He's calling me out one-on-one.
So Roman takes his jacket off, he steps into the ring, and we've got a slobber knocker. Both men are battling, and then Rey Mysterio's music starts playing. The Usos jump up onto the apron to block the ring, but the Mysterios come from the crowd, and they take out the Usos with chairs. Edge is beating on Roman in the ring, and the Usos are getting it on the outside. Jimmy hits Dom with a super kick, and Rey comes in to help, but Jey hits Rey with one. Edge hits an execution on Roman, and he sets up for the spear, but Jey grabs Edge's foot before he can take off, and Jimmy then hits a super kick. But Rey comes in, he puts Jimmy into the 619 position. Dom then sends Jey right beside his brother on the ropes as Rey is holding him down. Dom swings in with a 619 as Edge hits Jey with a spear, and Roman flees to the top of the stage as Edge goes for a chair. Edge breaks the rung off of the chair as he's going for another Glasgow Grin.
First it was Roman Reigns, then it was Jimmy Uso, and tonight's Jey Uso.
Edge locks in the Glasgow Grin, and Roman has to watch from the stage. And you can tell that Roman wants to help, but he just watches. Edge stands up, he stares down Roman. Edge tells Roman one more week, and he puts the hold onto Jey and Jimmy again repeatedly as the show closes. So we have finally made it through the Thunderdome era. It is time to close this chapter of the WWE history books as we're moving on to the July 16th episode of SmackDown, live from Houston, Texas. So for the first time in over a year and a half, the fans are back and they are loud. Michael Cole welcomes us in as Mr. McMahon is out, and he says,
Where the hell have you been?
our Tribal Chiefs music hits. And this was very exciting because we have not heard a real crowd reaction for Roman since he's been this new character, and he gets a huge pop that was actually followed by boos here. So Roman is in his ring gear as he's coming to the ring with the Usos. Rey and Dom are out now. Comes out to an enormous reaction, and we're getting a 6-man tag team match to kick off this show to give us a little preview of Money in the Bank that Sunday. So it is announced that the Usos will face the Mysterios on the kickoff show for the tag titles at Money in the Bank. So we're going to be covering that next week here on the channel. So if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you know when the Bloodline Rewind is live. So we come back from commercial break and Edge is in the ring as the Bloodline is stalking the ringside area. Jey hops and attacks Edge from behind as the bell rings, and we are back. We get some quick tags, but Edge makes his way in and he starts working on Jimmy's arm. Edge then tags Rey back in and they hit a double team senton onto Jimmy. Dom tags in and he hits a springboard moonsault and another arm drag takedown. Jey gets the blind tag and he hits Dom with an enziguri on the apron. Jey lands a big lariat in the corner and he tags in the tribal chief. He pulls Dom to the outside. They get back into the ring and he hits a suplex in the ring for a 2 count. Roman rolls Dom to the ringside area again as he taunts the crowd on the apron. Roman then grabs him. He bounces his head off the announce table. He puts him up into a powerbomb and then he slams him through the table as they go to commercial break. We come back and Dom is just somehow magically recovered and he's hitting the middle rope for a swinging DDT onto Jimmy. Both men get the tags as Edge comes flying in and he hits Jey off the apron and he tries to get Roman, but Roman hops down. Jey tries to get the advantage on Edge, but he face plants him into the turnbuckle and he big boots him. Edge baseball slides Jimmy to the outside and then he hits a big clothesline onto Roman on the outside. Edge hops back into the ring where Jey almost hits a Samoan drop on Edge, but he falls down and he tags in Rey and Jey hits a super kick as Jey flies over the top and hits a senton. Rey hits his signature swinging DDT, but Jimmy breaks the count. Dom throws Jimmy to the outside as he springboards off the top rope for a big crossbody onto the Usos. Roman throws Rey back into the ring and Edge spears Roman. Rey rolls Jey up for a 2 count. When Jey kicks out, it sends Rey into the second rope.
Down and a kick out. Cover now. Jey's got the tights.
And Jimmy hits Rey with an uppercut. Jey rolls up Rey and he gets the pin. But we're not done yet. There is a post-match brawl that breaks out as Edge grabs a chair and he's going to take out the Usos. Roman hits the Superman punch on Edge and is laid out. Roman grabs the belt. He holds it high, but he notices that chair lying in the ring.
Roman Reigns perhaps with payback on his mind.
He grabs that chair. He breaks that bottom bar off, but Edge hits him with a spear. Edge picks up that bar and he puts Roman in the crossface.
And will this be the scene come Sunday? Will Reigns tap out? Will Edge become universal?
Roman is now tapping and Roman is left laying in the middle of the ring as Edge holds that belt high above his head. So what did you think of this opening segment as we have come back to the fans for the first time in over a year and a half? I felt that this was a really creative way to bring them back. We had high energy, we had big spots, and we had a really big storyline building for Money in the Bank that weekend. So we fast forward as Edge is backstage with the Mysterios after the match, but is stopped by Kayla Braxton. She said despite the loss, he is one step closer to the title.
Making Roman tap out like a bitch just now.
But if he's gonna win, he's gotta dip into something different.
Some places that maybe I've never dipped into before. A part of my soul that I don't know if I want to go there, but I'm gonna have to because
he says that the last thing that he needs to do in this company
is win the Universal Championship.
And we get this laugh as Seth starts laughing off camera. And Seth says that
he's got your number.
He says that he hopes Edge wins on Sunday because he's going to win Money in the Bank.
And then I'm going to finish what I started 7 years ago when I had my boot on your neck and I didn't pull the trigger.
Now go later into the show as Kayla knocks on Roman's door and Paul Heyman comes out. Paul says,
Edge, who sinned tonight,
and he will confess and atone for those sins at Money in the Bank.
have those sins beaten out of him. Roman Reigns.
And Paul says, don't ask me about Edge. That's not a prediction.
Oh, Paul Heyman!
And Big E enters the chat as Big E says that it appears
Edge has a hold of Roman Reigns. got a hold of your boy.
So we got a potential new opponent in Big E if he wins the Money in the Bank on Sunday. So that is it for the Bloodline in this episode. But before we go, we have some big news in the world of WWE. In the July 5th, 2021 Wrestling Observer, WWE announced 14 cuts. Many were regulars on 205, and there were some main roster performers. It was Tyler Breeze and Fandango, the Bollywood Boys, and Killian Dane. The list of cuts for the 205 regulars were Tony Nese, Arya Daivari, August Gray, the tag team Ever Rise, so shout outs to you, Daddy Magic, Kurt Stallion, Arturo Rujas, Marina Shafir, and Tino Sabatelli. And Dave says that it will be interesting to see where they will land, and nobody stands out as someone that can be an instant star, but many are good wrestlers and good performers. We do have some sad news that we have to cover here. Del Wilkes, who was known as the Patriot in the world of WWE, he passed away on July 1st after a massive heart attack. Then a week later, we get some unfortunate news that Paul Orndorff had passed away on July 12th from complications of his dementia. And I know that this was a very sad day for a friend of the show, Uncle Jamie, as Paul Orndorff was his favorite wrestler of all time. So we're going to brighten the mood a little bit here before we ride out. SummerSlam tickets are selling great as they have moved about 40,135 tickets so far as of the July 5th date, and the building can hold up to 60,000. And we are going to finish off this episode with the first WrestleMania rumors of the year. There has been one idea floated around for Mania that Roman Reigns versus The Rock versus An Uso, which I thought was really interesting because, I mean, we all know where this is going, but coincidentally, we get our first WrestleMania rumor, and Roman mentioned Brock Lesnar in his July 9th promo on SmackDown.
You ask any fighter, ask Brock.
I thought that was very interesting because we're getting very close to SummerSlam, and we all know what happens at the end of SummerSlam. But if you don't know, that's the only tease that I'll give you, as we will get there eventually. We are on the road there. It's coming up very soon. So if you are new here, make sure you subscribe and drop a like. It is the best way to support the channel. We're going to be back next week with Money in the Bank. We're going to have the tag team titles. Are the Usos going to capture their 7th tag team championship? And we are going to have Roman Reigns versus Edge for the Universal Championship. I cannot wait to see how this all plays out. With that, I'm Johnny Bakeshow, and we just called it in the ring.